Hi guys, my name is Dan and welcome to the channel. In today's video, I bring to you 5 worst cars on Automobilista 2. Please, don't get me wrong, I really love Automobilista, but these are 5 cars that you really should avoid. I don't want to be too critical, so for each car on this list, I will give you one alternative that's much better for racing and for your potential race series. If you find this interesting, please hit the like button. Leave a comment, of course. I'm very much keen to hear your thoughts and opinions, and subscribe to the channel. This is very much appreciated and you can help my small channel grow, so thank you a lot. Guys, let's not waste any more time and let's begin. First car we are starting with this list is Formula V or Formula Volkswagen. 96 horsepower and 530 kilograms. A light version of bed. I have looked it up and it seems like a very decent entry-level race car, which is very affordable for everybody who wants to start in more serious racing. The reason why it's on the list, it's really not that fun to drive, especially when you have much better choice that I will recommend you shortly. Let us jump into the seat and see what it's all about. To start off this list, Formula V was like a really logical choice. Being so slow, especially on Jerez, this is a wide, long, straight track that will not suit a car like this. Nevertheless, it makes it a little bit easier to start with if you're a complete beginner. And for real life racing, I can understand that somebody would enjoy driving something like this, but in sim racing we have so much more and so many more options. Then this really needs to find its spot on this top 5 worst cars. Especially there is much better alternative that I will show you in the end. So what's interesting about this car? This is a real momentum car. You need to carry as much speed as possible through the corners, so you don't have a specific braking point, rather a braking zone. So I'm braking here to the apex, trying to carry as much speed as possible, using the track as wide as I can. It's only 3rd and 4th gear in this car on particular track, so not a lot of things to consider in this department. Just trying to be precise on your line and carry as much speed as possible. That being said, you can understand why among all the cars we have, this found its way on the list, being car number 5, and which car I recommend instead of this one. Let me show you next. Okay, as I said, the alternative, much better alternative is Formula Trainer. It has only less than 30 horsepower more in that engine, but it's wider, it's more stable, it's really much more precise when it comes to braking, accelerating out of the corners. So this makes this little car very interesting to drive. It doesn't have any wings, so you can count out any aero effects, special aero effects, which also is understandable since this is not that fast car to drive. But as I said, I really recommend you should try the first one, Formula V, and then Formula Trainer, and you will see much better and much bigger difference. And I hope you will agree with me on this account. Fourth car on the list, it's really horrible. Formula V compared to this is a dream car. It's a Mitsubishi Lancer that has 300 horsepower and weighs 1,500 kilograms. I don't know if it's me, if it's maybe badly done by Ryzen, but I cannot imagine myself driving this car more than 10 minutes. When you're looking at me driving it around Jerez, it looks kinda decent, nothing too horrible to think about it. But when we sit in the car, I will show you what's the problem. And we are in the seat of one of the worst cars. You're probably asking yourself, well, why is this such a bad car? To be honest, the most simple answer is everything. It's very unresponsive, very heavy. I know it is officially heavy, but for a 300 horsepower car, this just doesn't feel like a race car. I don't know what Reza was thinking with this one. You need a long distance to brake with this car. It's also very difficult to handle in corners. Like a normal street car, that's something I don't like. Thankfully, we have better options. The thing that really surprised me is I expected the beast car from Mitsubishi. They're known for their great rally cars, and Mitsubishi Evo, Lancer Evo is one of the best. But in this case, this really came short, and so my disappointment was great. I know many of you will agree when they try this car, and I will now give you a much better alternative, which is probably in the same class, but just feels much better and drives much better, and you will have far more greater fun in that other car. And the alternative is Chevrolet Copa Montana, really worlds apart from Mitsubishi. It has 350 horsepower, a little bit less in weight, but it handles better, accelerates better, brakes better, much more stable. It has also plenty of cool looking liveries for your custom championship, so I really recommend it. And I hope you will leave a comment and say if you like this choice. And we are moving up on this list. So for third position, third spot, I've chosen Gol HC, which is probably Volkswagen Golf replica. It's front wheel drive with 170 horsepower, so a little bit tuned up engine with almost 800 kilograms. Front wheel drive is much different than rear wheel drive. All the front wheels are doing all the work, and the rear end is sliding all over the place. It's different to drive, and I just cannot imagine myself driving this car a lot. There is a better alternative, which I will show you, of course, in the end. But let's now see how the car feels while we are jumping into the seat of it. Okay, we are driving Golf HC or Gol HC, which is one of the Automobilista classic cars that you can try out. I've chosen it for this list because it doesn't feel great. This front wheel drive is something I don't like. I know some of you will say, no, this is great, absolutely loving this front wheel drive, but not for me. There are also plenty of different classic cars to choose from. I am not able to get used to this, that the front wheels will rotate the car but also pull the car in front, so my driving is horrible, and I'm too lazy to put some effort into car like this, so I just had to put it on the list because of the variety that Automobilista offers, and of course I will give you the better alternative. And the alternative is a little bit better looking than the previous one, has less engine power, weighs a little bit more, but the fun factor is much greater. That's at least my personal opinion. I hope you try both cars out and tell me what's your opinion. This one should provide you with some really great close racing and really nice slow and steady, but also very fun pace of the race. On the second spot, I just had to put one prototype car. It's not that I don't like them, I really do. Automobilista 2 offers great variety with a lot of great prototype cars, but this one is just not on the same level. It's MCR S2000. It has 230 horsepower, which makes it the least powerful from all of the prototype cars. It doesn't look too well, it weighs only half a ton, so it's not really that difficult to handle. It's more like an entry-level prototype car, but nevertheless, since there is so many, the one had to go on this list, and that's MCR 2000. This car, to be honest, is not that bad, but actually, when being in such a heavy competition, it had to go on this list. You would expect from a prototype car much more, There is a great alternative, I will show you, of course, as I did with the previous cars. But to stay on track and to explain why I think this car is not on par with other prototypes, it's just it doesn't have enough power. It really takes a lot of time for this car to accelerate, as you can see on this long straight. Regarding braking, when we are thinking about amazing capacities all the prototype cars have, then this one is really lacking in that department. Also a little bit sluggish out of the corners. It probably also has something to do with my lack of preparation and seat time in this particular car. But in general, my verdict is no, it's not that good. There are better alternatives, and if you need to drive any prototype cars, then let me show you which one is much better. Guys, this car is not only much better alternative than MCR, Rocco is also one of the best prototype cars, or maybe the best prototype car on Automobilista too. Everybody who loves prototypes probably agrees with me and probably try this one out. It sounds fantastic, it feels and handles great, it also looks great, so please give me your opinion, leave a comment if you like this alternative, and now let's jump on to the next one. And we are finishing off in a style, so first position, top spot for these 5 worst cars on Automobilista 2 goes to Mini Cooper. I had so much expectations from this car, but it came short in almost any department. With 275 horsepower, 4-wheel drive, and let's say 1200 kilograms in weight, it should have been great car. What is most annoying, I will show you when I drive it myself. There is also one fantastic alternative which made me think and say, hey, this is probably the car that disappointed me the most, so it deserves, in my honest opinion, the top spot on this list. I know this is probably the most controversial decision to put Mini as a car that's really disappointment of all the cars on Automobilista. But when you have such a great expectations, I saw it on the list and I said, wow, this is going to be a great cup car for any championship. And then to drive it and see how much understeer it has, it really is annoying. I don't know how to approach the particular corners with it. I know some of you really enjoy it, but for me it was a really big disappointment. Also very sluggish when exiting the corner and trying to accelerate. It's also a momentum car, so you should keep or carry as much speed as possible. But something is off with this car. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not too technically knowledgeable to give you that very specific answer, but I can only tell you what I feel when I drive the car, and this one really came short for me. As I said, expected so much more only to get what I got or what we got. I don't like when people say something is wrong or not done well without giving you an alternative. And that's exactly what I wanted to give you in this case. Many people like Mini and then don't want to hear anything negative about it. But let me just say Puma is really great, dynamic, small race car with tons of cool looking liveries that will make your custom championship look great. Please try both of them and then decide. I think you will be surprised and you will be really happy that you did. Guys, what to say in the end? I hope you liked this top 5 list of worst cars in Automobilista 2 in my opinion. I also hope that you find this interesting of me giving you an alternative for each car and maybe saying what's better and what to expect. If you liked it, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel of course. This makes me motivated and eager to make another video as soon as possible. And in the end, thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye!